Whoa. Hey guys, so I just got finished watching the first episode of Black Lightning. It's the only one that's out at the minute. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect it to. When I first saw the trailer, the tone of Black Lightning looked completely different to like Arrow or Flash. And visually, it's quite an attractive show. I like the way it's shot. I like it. I like the tone of it. I like the intro. It's only a short intro, like a lot of those CW shows, but the intro, it's got like hip hop. Yeah, you could say, oh, it's being stereotypical, but hey, it's fitting. I really like the way they've done it. I like Black Lightning himself. Let's talk about the characters. So you got Black Lightning, and you've got his two daughters, and then you have his ex-wife, who blatantly still loves him, but she kind of doesn't want to be with him because he's Black Lightning, and he was really badly injured once, and one of his daughters saw it, and she was like, I'm leaving you." It was quite, it seemed like she was overreacting, but in the context of children, women will do anything. So, and that's not an insult to women, but women will protect their children from things that they think are harmful, like seeing their father really hurt. Anyway, so story starts out with Black Lightning and his daughter being in the, I think they're at the police station. One of his daughters gets arrested, and then the other daughter comes and brings her a dress. They have something to attend. In fact, no, they're not attending anything yet. But she gets arrested. The other daughter brings her a dress. That's kind of a needless detail. Let's not go too deep. I'm sorry, I'm going too detailed. Let's just kind of bang through it, because I only really want to speak for 5 to 10 minutes, maybe less. So after they leave the police station, after he goes and picks up his daughter, he gets pulled over by the police, and it's raining. It's like it's pouring, like it's really raining bad. They get pulled over by the police. The police are being really hostile. At this point, he's grown. He's a grown, I'd say 50-year-old man, 45-year-old grown black man, established. He wears a suit and tie. He's really clean cut, really nice cut beard. Really kind of like really good man. In terms of like what black men are conveyed as. He looked like he's like Martin Luther King or something. He's that sharp. That didn't matter to the Fed. The Fed told him to get out of the car, put him up against the car, was physical with him, was aggressive with him. During this time, you see the first flash of his power in his eyes. He kind of starts being enraged. Not until he asks the police officer, aren't they going to tell him what this is all about? Because apparently he's being penned as like, he's being not lined up. He's being like lined up, or he's being used to see, because a Chinese lady's shop was robbed, so they've kind of apprehended him to say, was this the guy that robbed your shop? So he like freaks out. He doesn't freak out, but he goes crazy at the Fed, at the police officer. I said Fed. He goes crazy at the police officer. He's like, you're not going to tell me what this is about. He's like, oh, someone robbed her store. He was like, so a guy with a family car. He flips out. He's like, a guy with a family car. He's like, a Volvo, and in a suit and tie, robbed her store. So it's like, and the police officer's just like, let's call them feds. I like that's how I. So the feds like, have a good night. Kind of like, I don't care. I don't care that you came out in the rain. At this point, Black Lightning's soaked. He's just soaked. His suit's all soaked. He has to get back in the car. One of the feds pulls a gun on his door, or when he's on, this is going back, but when he's on the bonnet of the car, when he's on the hood of the car like this, and the other black police officer, which is a black guy, pulls a gun to his daughter. His daughters are recording on their phones, and so that kind of freaks him out. So after all that, and after the police officer says to him, "Good night, sir. Have a good night." Just as to say, "Shut your mouth. I can do what I want." Black Lightning's eyes light up and he goes insane. And then because he's an energy manipulator, he manipulates electric, so electrokinesis or whatever it's called, he turns off their car with his power, not on purpose, but it turns off. Flash forward now to the next part where he's at a fundraiser and his youngest daughter sneaks off. He's got two daughters. His oldest daughter, who is guaranteed gonna be like his sidekick, but she's kind of she's like a doctor or something. She does something big. And then his youngest daughter, who's still at high school. The youngest daughter wants to go to the parties. She wants to go partying and turn up with her friends. So she goes and the oldest daughter covers for her. He comes home after the fundraiser, realises, oh, my daughter's not here. He's like, what? Calls the oldest daughter. She spills the beans. He goes there. He sees her getting like grabbed up. She meets this guy. This guy's in some gang trouble. He sees her getting grabbed up. She's like, what? So she gets pulled into the office. He tries to go into the office. The office is like the nightclub owner's office. And he's like, the guy that she's been talking to, who she's just met, saying, oh, she's my girl and all that. The nightclub owner, who's a gang leader of a gang called the 100, he sees her as his girl and he's like, your girl can work at my hotel as one of my hoes. And she's like, I'm not your girl. She knees that guy who she thought, who said she was his girl in the balls. Everyone laughs at him. And then, it cuts to Black Lightning trying to get in the room. And then one of the henchmen tries to stop him. He comes down. He's like, look. And at this point, he's still in street clothes. He's not yet Black Lightning. I don't actually know his name. I think it's Jefferson something. I apologize. A really cool character that really made me feel a certain way. But so he tries to get in the room. The guy pulls a gun on him. Black Lightning just beats. It goes straight into action from there. He beats this guy up. Then he beats everyone up in the club without a super suit. Then he leaves the club. His daughter gets away because of all the commotion. Then he leaves the club. And when he's left the club, he's apprehended by two feds. Now the feds pull tasers on him, but they shock him with the tasers because he's bugging out and he absorbs it. Obviously, he's Black Lightning. He's not affected by electrical, attacks or anything. He grabs the taser, he shocks them, and then he shocks them again, I think, and then he shocks their car. And and this is where the news is reporting Black Lightning might be back. It might have been Black Lightning that wrecked everyone at the club, such and such. So this leads to him. So I'm at 7 minutes already. This is crazy. This leads to him carrying on with his life, and then that same boy, who his daughter needing the balls, he kind of takes a liking to her. He comes to her school. He keeps grabbing her. She's trying to walk away from him. She don't really want to pay him no mind. Keeps grabbing her. His oldest daughter comes. He tries to grab her. She flips him over martial arts style. He tries to pull for his gun. Black Lightning's the principal at the school. This is who he is. I forgot to mention this. He comes out of the school. He apprehends the boy from getting his gun out of his pants. He says, look, what are you going to do if you shoot my daughter? Or he don't even say my daughter, but if he says, what are you going to do? Shoot her? If you shoot her, what do you think is going to happen? He's like, there's cameras everywhere. The police are already on their way. You're going to go to jail for life. You know what I'm saying? Black man to black man. You're just going to be another black boy in jail. So it covers a lot of themes of black characters and how we're treated and how we feel and the situations that we're in certain areas. It's definitely a reflection of a lot of hood situations, which I kind of liked, which I've kind of overlooked in this review, but I guess we can talk about that. But it's definitely trying to cover these things that we go through in terms of being in the hood life, hood attitudes, because he was just exhibiting classic hood bravado. He didn't want to look bad, so he'd rather shoot someone than think. So when Black Lightning said that to him, he's thought and he's walked away, but he's also said, this ain't over, which is a cliche that a lot of black characters use, which is actually kind of, sadly enough, in my own life experience, I've experienced this myself. I've experienced this with people always coming back for each other, even if it's not righteous, even if it's the most stupid, petty stuff. In my community, in my black community that I've experienced, this is a common thread. So it was interesting to see it conveyed. And obviously it's not just the black community, but the black community for the most part, most young boys that are black, within impoverished areas usually are in some kind of a gang, one way or the other. You know, it's not always gangs with that word, but it's, you know, there's a group of them. So you could classify all of them as a gang. You know, a lot of my friends were in gangs growing up. A lot of people I know now are still pseudo in gangs. So it's kind of like a truth of our area. You know, and I'm from the UK, but it's especially that way in America. So it's interesting to see that. Anyway, long story short, this guy does come back. He said he's coming back. He kidnaps both the daughters, takes them to some location, which is a hotel. Black Lightning realizes, oh, he kidnaps them from the school, by the way. His oldest daughter teaches. I forgot that's what she does. She teaches at the school. And his youngest daughter was in class getting taught by her sister. So, bang, he rolls in with his boys. They rob the two daughters, take them to a hotel. Black Lightning shows up. He goes to see his old friend. His old friend's this white guy, kind of like Geppetto, with a workshop. You know, he's working on the suits. He's kind of like a Lucius Fox, let's say. He's working on Black Lightning's new suit. He's like, I'm working on something new. Shows him like this schematic of the new suit. Next cuts to next scene. Black Lightning's got the suit on. Shows up at the hotel, kicks major ass. It's really quite spectacular. It's quite cool. He looks very bulky though. You know, but he's still doing some flexible stuff. He's still doing some spin kicks and some athletic stuff because he's an Olympian. So yeah, it's cool. He doesn't get the big boss. The big boss is there, and there's a big. I'll talk about these two characters in a minute. So this review is gonna run longer than I thought. So there's a big boss called Lala, who is the boss of the guy that robbed his daughters from the school. He's the boss of a smaller part of this gang. Right, and then there's a bigger boss who's an albino character. He's an albino black guy called Tobias. I believe it's Tobias. Now, with Tobias, he's a Black Lightning character from the comics. Obviously, why? Who else would you use in a series, right? But he's Black Lightning's like nemesis. I don't know his skill set or anything. I haven't really checked out Black Lightning in the comics. I've been quite ignorant to Black Lightning, to be fair. But Tobias is his main threat. Tobias is shown twice in this episode one. First, I think he kills some white guy. He throws him in like a shark tank or something, or he drowns him or something. And then the second time, Lala fails him, because he figures out Black Lightning's back. So he brings Lala anonymously to his hideout. Lala doesn't know where it is. He shoots a harpoon, seemingly where his heart is. So it's weird that Lala didn't die. And then he pulls him towards him and he's like, are you going to get rid of Black Lightning? Or do I have to kill you myself? So it's like, this guy's showing he's on a whole different level of gangster than Lala. Lala's small time, but he thinks he's big time. But Lala's that local gang lord. And then Tobias is like kingpin level in that city, I guess. So yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah, so Black Lightning rolls up at the hotel. He kicks major ass. He interrogates the guy that kidnapped his daughters. He shoots him onto his car. I don't think he dies. It looks, I think he kills one guy though, I swear, because he uses a guy as a human shield and he gets shot about 4 times. So I think that guy's dead, but I don't think Black Lightning cares. I think this series is too gritty for him to be that bothered. Like in Arrow, season 1, Arrow was killing fools. No long. He was just killing fools. Just killing fools. So, Black Lightning probably did kill somebody. But yeah, that's my review. To be honest, that's 14 minutes. I'm going to try and make it 15 minutes by the time I'm done. But that's 14 minutes of me talking about Black Lightning episode 1. Honestly, it was pretty good. It seems to me like it's a good thing for black youth, because it's nice to see an iconic character with his own show. Now, Luke Cage was okay, and Luke Cage was cool, but I think Black Lightning is a lot cooler. If we're talking about like a character that you can really be like, yeah, Luke Cage is cool, but Iron Fist's cooler than Luke Cage if you've watched the 2 series. Daredevil's cooler than Luke Cage if you've watched the 2 series. Even though Luke Cage has got the most power at a baseline level, but Black Lightning is more powerful than Luke Cage, for one. He's got more moves. Luke Cage ain't really got moves. Luke Cage is just a powerhouse. Black Lightning's doing flip kicks. He's blocking. He knows. He seems to know martial arts. He's an ex-Olympian. Hey man. So I can rally behind this guy. So I'll probably watch every episode. You know. I might start reviewing Star Wars Discovery, but I might just do a video just talking about Star Wars Discovery, because, like a discussion video, because I honestly think it's really good. Like I didn't know if I'd like it, but to be fair, all of the stuff they've been doing with the new Star Trek, all of the stuff they've been doing with the new Star Trek, I've liked. But anyway, guys, this has been my Black Lightning review. I really enjoyed it. There's a little snippet at the end where his oldest daughter seems to be gaining her powers, because I believe Black Lightning is a metahuman. So I don't know if this is taking place within the CW universe, but I kind of would like it to, but I don't think it's as corny as those shows. So it's kind of hard. It might be kind of like, because it's a Netflix show, it might be kind of like how Daredevil is for Marvel, and how those shows are like separate from that main stuff, but it's similar, basically placed in a similar place, because those shows are supposed to exist within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but the characters are too small time. Whereas in my opinion, Iron Fist could appear in a movie, you know. So, you know, other characters, Daredevil, it'd be cool, but, you know, he's not going to compete, is he really, with Captain America, you know, Winter Soldier and all those types of characters. He's just not going to compete. But that's what I'm saying. He could compete with Black Widow. Let's keep it real. You know, he's probably tougher than Black Widow. If you look at, like, if you've watched Daredevil, like, he beats up Iron Fist. Like, you know, like, so, you know, what can I say? It's one of those situations where, you know, those characters kind of could cross over. Now I've thought about it. But anyway, I always go on tangents. So I might make that a different video. But hey, look guys, I've been Fiji. This is where I think and I feel. Please like and subscribe. It helps me get off the ground. And also, if you want to, you can share the video. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can share the video. But yeah, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to talk about, I'm just going to have a discussion about Star Wars Discovery. A general discussion. Just because I do like the show. I do find it very entertaining. I do think the characters are quite compelling. But that's a video for another time. Peace!